Testing 1, 2, 3.
Giving it to you straight with no filter. Danny B wins.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's Friday, November 8th already, Andy. Holidays are coming. We have a great show lined up. We are a little behind today, Andy. Not your fault this time. Technology, the computer decided to reboot and reset. But anyway, so here we are. Friday, November 8th. A lot of guys are tuning in for the first time, Andy, because on radio this weekend, I really pushed my website.
Brand new service, $1 a day?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the $1 a day membership. Great for... Here's why I'm doing this, for guys tuning in for the first time. And by the way, we have David Purdom joining us, sports journalist. In a few minutes, we'll hear from AC Sports. We're going to throw out a couple of free picks right here on the show. But again, on radio, a lot of guys are listening and they're calling this guy and that guy and they're looking for free picks and they're calling the comp lines, the recorded messages. But this is better, Andy, because what I'm doing, it's affordable for everybody. The smaller player, the guy that bets $25, $50, they don't have to call nobody. They don't have to talk to nobody. They get plenty of plays for $1 a day. So it's good for you. It's good for anybody. So that's why I'm doing this. And then there's guys that... they've had a bad experience, so you get to track some of the hottest young handicappers out there for $1 a day. And if they sign up with doubling it, so it breaks down to like 50 cents a day.
That's awesome.
It's perfect for the small player.
Less than a cup of coffee.
The guy that likes action. So that's why we really started this. It did well on Twitter and social media. So, So let's see where it goes with AM radio. Whether you're down in up in Los Angeles, down in Miami, wherever you're at. Excuse me, I got a little gas, as always, as I'm drinking coffee that I shouldn't. And so anyway, Andy, what's up in your life? I know you had a little wrestling match with a professional MMA guy, because you've been Andy's new to it.
Yeah.
Andy's been at this for, about 7 months now?
Yeah,
Andy?
only about 7 months in, and last night I got to roll with he's a pro MMA fighter. He fought in Bellator. His first name's Scott. He actually never told me his last name. But he's 24 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, a ton of fights and just an amazing grappler.
So, bottom line, you got knocked around a little bit.
I got my ass handed to me. I thought I was going to throw out mom's meatloaf.
But you know what? So what? That's part of the learning experience.
Yeah. No, you know what? It's great because when you're rolling with other people who just do jiu-jitsu, there's a certain style to it and there's always a consistency to it. But this guy is a pro fighter. So he would hit.
It's like taking a high school football player and throwing him right into college.
Exactly. So he would tap me,
or into the NFL, I should say.
Yeah, when punches would be coming, and it made me have to react completely differently. You know what I mean?
Because it's for real now.
No, it's serious. Yeah, it's serious. But
you were in harm's way.
I was in harm's way. I was looking to compete next weekend on my birthday, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to. I've got some work that needs attending.
And maybe you need to work on your skills a little bit.
I do. There you go. For only 7 months in, it's one of those things.
You know what? Good for you, though, because I admire you. You've always wanted to do it. You did it. A lot of people are afraid to do things that they want to do. They're just
they
afraid.
just want to posture. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But anyway, we should be hearing from David Purdom. He's been a journalist online for about 5 years. He's going to talk about a story that he's working on. I don't know if it's out, but he didn't say much except for he'll tell us on the show. Hopefully, David will be joining us in a second. And at the bottom of the hour, or what time is it? We should be hearing from... And again, guys are tuning in. That might be him right now. Let me say, hold on, bear with me.
Sure.
No, that's AC telling him we're a little bit behind. But yeah, David's working on a story about the psyche. I believe the story, and don't quote me.
Okay.
It's about why gamblers do what they do.
Okay.
Why they call different services, how you got to get in the mind of the gambler, and that's basically, I guess, what the story's about.
Now, speaking of that, the mind of the gambler, where did your initial push get to this where you are now?
What do you
mean?
The
listeners who who are just tuning in maybe for the first time, what drew you
into the business?
Yeah, to the business.
Just growing up around the business, it was part of our childhood. Gambling was very popular. In where we grew up, North Jersey, Hoboken, Hudson County. Some consider it the armpit of the world. I started at a young age, and it just trickled over. And
that's great.
I think a lot of people, not great. I mean, it is what it is. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Believe me, if I had a choice and I had good support group, and I would have went to college and done all that, I would have definitely, but I can't.
Well, I guess the way
I have no regrets. I mean, it's what I do. I enjoy. It's a lot. It's stress, you know, highs and lows, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. No matter how good you are, or you know, you got to just be in this thing long term because it's all about balance. And it is frustrating, man. It's you go on good runs, bad runs, and here's the thing: you can have like this membership that we're doing. You might come in, and we're 5-0, like we were last Sunday. Or you might come in on we are 0-2. And you get a little discouraged, and I understand that. So it's good because it gives you enough time to judge somebody. Rather than paying $25 a pick and saying that guy stinks or that guy's good. Because really, 1 or 2 plays is not enough. So this gives you, like the Philly Godfather, I admire what he did with that $1 a day. I'm sorry, the $10 a month thing. He doubled it up. You get the chance to watch his plays. This is kind of like, I don't want to say a copycat, but it's like my version of it to make it affordable, especially for a lot of guys out in Los Angeles, Miami.
Absolutely.
They don't know what to do. They're square. Most people that watch the podcast on Ustream, they're bettors. You know, they know the game. So they can relate to it, where a lot of guys don't know, so they don't know.
And for me, being a guy who doesn't know.
You don't know.
You know?
You just don't know.
It's something like that, if I wanted to throw money on it, for the entertainment factor alone, I would appreciate something that's $1 a day. And I get
50 cents if you sign up now. Double up. 3 months turns into 6. 6 months turns into a year. And I'll throw in some Ginsu knives. Take them and stick your bookie in the eye. And I'm not done. I'll throw in the sweeper. And the broccoli and all that stuff. Little infomercial there, but no, go ahead.
It would be great to turn to something like that where I could use as a guideline.
It is a guideline. It's
like
a tool. Yes.
Yeah, and like you said, you don't have to bet with the games if you want
don't like them.
Bet opposite,
what it is you
like
get to
it,
track, so you understand, guys that are tuning in. The program is there's going to be young. I'm going to post plays on it as well, but very seldom. It's to showcase the young cappers out there and new cappers, not just young, new cappers, guys that have been betting for years but never went public.
Now, here's a question.
So, go ahead. I got something in my ear.
For the $1 a day service, right? How about that? How about that person that wants to take it to the next level and speak to you? What's the
right
best
on the web?
way?
All they have to do is look at the website.
Okay.
It says basically the criteria. It's not. Listen. This thing is good. It's affordable. You do it. You don't do it. You don't like the games. Don't bet them. Maybe you like them. You don't talk to nobody. You fill out the form. Boom. It goes right to your cell phone if you put in the right number. The mess, and then we'll update it. So it's good that you do put in your proper cell phone number. I'll tell you why. Because the guys might post a play later in the day, and you're not at your computer, but you have your phone with you. So it goes bang right to your cell phone.
That's perfect.
Because all the guys are going to be posting throughout the day. You know, especially on the weekends. It's crazy.
Oh, well.
What time is it? Are we running? I hope David didn't. Hope we didn't lose David. I hope we didn't lose his. Because he did say he had a short window of opportunity to call in.
And AC's supposed to be calling
AC are
in.
definitely calling. Yeah. Again, we're running behind the computer hat. It's always something, though, Andy.
I know.
With the show, right?
I know. It's always something.
You know what? And that's why, like I said, I'm excited about this. You know, because I deal with a lot of people that call from radio for many years. 20 years I've been doing radio and television. And there's so much they don't know what to do. They really don't. Let me call this guy. Let me call that guy. This guy sounds good. This guy said I can make 1,000 and turn it into. Hey, there he is. That's great. I'm glad we had him. David Purdom.
Hello,
David. How are you, buddy?
Andy, how are you, sir?
Oh man, we apologize. I know you had a short window today, and this time it wasn't Andy's fault, mind you. It was the computer had to start up again, and the software. It's always. But anyway, David, thanks for joining us. David Purdom, you've been following sports betting for 5 or 6 years now. You've written for various gaming forums. What is your latest project, David, and what's going on in your world?
Not a lot, Danny, not a lot. I'm working on a story, which I kind of find interesting, nobody else made, but about the mentality of bettors who choose to purchase picks, from a service like yourselves or anywhere. The kind of premise of it is my enjoyment of handicapping and sports betting is, being right, doing the research, looking at a side, and having things come through. The money's great, but I enjoy that part just as much. And so that if you were to buy picks, it kind of takes away from that. And so I was just kind of interested in, hearing what you thought about, why people purchase picks from you.
Well, what have you gotten? Have you got any feedback? See, everybody's different. You cover people everywhere, right? You work the forums and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the psyche of the gambler. I just know that What's that? Oh, the show's on here too. How quaint. Sorry, David. Just wanted to make sure. What, AC's on the phone too? We have AC on the show?
There?
Sorry about the cluster.
Yes,
All right, we got AC. AC, just bear with us. I got David Purdom on the line, and we're trying to talk about the psyche of the gambler. Here's a good question. Like, we do know, David, and I'm not no psychiatrist by no means, but I've dealt with gamblers for many years. If you're asking me why they do what they do, I personally can't give you an answer. We know why people do drugs. We know why people drink. And it usually takes them longer to self-destruct, right? The alcoholic takes time before he blows out his liver. The drug addict before he gets a bad batch of whatever. But the gambler, they can lose his or her finances in a matter of 3 hours. So do I know why these people do what they do? Desperation sometimes. Maybe they just in a funk and they don't know. Maybe they figured somebody's got to know something. Everybody's different, you know. And how about for the guy, David, that never gambled before, the one that doesn't understand the point spread? And for those guys, I can understand it, but some guys never, I don't know, they never learn their lesson. They bounce from guy to guy, and it's never enough. I don't know.
Yeah. I communicated with, through social media, email, and talked to save the time. They don't have time to handicap, so they're going to pay somebody else to do the handicapping for them.
Okay.
Well, other times it's kind of like what you said. They want confirmation. Hey, maybe they looked at this game, or maybe they looked at 2 or 3 games, and they'd like to know if somebody else has an opinion on it, like theirs, so it would, confirm their bet, and they would go ahead and make it. Those are the 2 most popular answers, I think.
Well, you know what? Sometimes the problem here, though, everybody knows that you're not going to win every day. But if you see a play that you're hot on and this guy confirms it, sometimes that makes you jump a little too high because now you've got that full sense of confidence, and that maybe makes you want to bet more than you normally would have because this guy's got to know. So I'm going to bet twice as. So it can backfire on you too. I think what I'm doing and what the Philly Godfather with this long-term program, stretch it out. Make it affordable where they can do it all year long, and they can pick and choose their spots. I guess I don't know. To buy a pick and judge somebody by a pick, that's just not. I don't know. That's tough to do. I'd rather see somebody follow us for a while. That's why I got guys like AC and the young guys that are in the business. Make it affordable for everybody. And I'm the first one to tell you we're gonna have bad weeks and good weeks. Long term. But getting back to the question, and we've talked, Dave. We go back many years. You've always been fair with me, and I've been honest with you. And everybody knows about this and that's happened to me in the past. But what I'm doing right now is really trying to show everybody that there's some good young talent out there. Your name doesn't have to be from like 20 years ago, like me. I've been in the business forever. So there's some real sharp young guys out there like AC. He's not perfect, but they'll hit 55, 56% for you. That's realistic. How many times, David, in your journeys have you heard a handicapper claim to hit 80%, 75%? It's just ridiculous.
Way too often for sure.
So
I think you can't guarantee winners.
I hate that word.
People that come to you to buy one pick and looking for that guaranteed winner, that's foolish on their part. You just can't guarantee that. I think the minimum standard should be that you should expect out of, if you were going to purchase picks, is to trust that they're going to do the handicapping. They are going to do the research. They are going to look at the games. They are going to keep track of stuff, and they're going to be transparent about what the information was that they used to make their pick. As long as they're doing that, I don't think you can, expect much more.
Well, you know what? They're putting in work in for you. You're paying them for their research, and that's fine because that's what they do. AC, we have you on the other line. You do this part-time for 7 years now. You posted plays on forums. You put out little reports on Rhyme and Reason. And what David just said is support your bet. I'm the first one to tell you, I'm not the guy doing the handicapping in most cases. I'm the guy tracking the money. And I have guys like AC that do that research and development, if you will. AC puts in the facts, why this, why that. AC, David just said, puts a little mustard on your hot dog. So what's your approach to this? How do you like to break things down to your members or the forum fans, whatever you want to call them?
Yeah, well, so for my private clients, I always stick to long-term subscriptions. I don't believe in sometimes we'll do weekly to try to get them on board long term, but I tell them, stick with me for a month, stick with me for 3 months, and you'll see that percentage hit. I mean, for instance, this week on Monday and Tuesday, I got some new members, and we went 5-0 both days, and then they get real hot. They think you're unstoppable, and then Wednesday comes around and you
smacked
I think
around.
we went like 1-4. So I mean, there's times where you're gonna have your ups and downs. So if you're signing up for one day and you go 1-4, I mean, that's just bad luck. You have to stick long term with these handicappers. And also, I also think that when someone signs up, they should ask for a write-up for a play too, not just simply take Texas A&M minus 17. Tell me why, and then I can make a judgment call off what you say on your statistics.
Well, that's what a lot of people want to know, the facts. A lot of people don't care about that. Just give me the winners. Everybody's different. And I'm trying to make, Dave, I'm trying to keep up with the changing of times. That's why, I caught a lot of heat, Dave, just trying to give these guys an upper leg, giving them a forum, because I have the radio, I have my little podcast, I do a lot of call-ins. So I'm just trying to give some of the young guys some exposure, and I've taken some heat. The guys ain't proven. This guy, how do you know this guy? How the hell does anybody know who you're dealing with? You know how many Fugazis are out there, David? How many companies have 5 or 6 companies internally? So who are you really dealing with? Most cases you don't really know. I mean, think about it. Do you really know? Because that ad? No. I mean, we know certain things, but let me tell you something, David. When I first started in this business, there was a handful of us. Now you turn on the computer, 10,000, 20,000.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that shows, though, that there still is a market for people to buy picks. I spoke to a couple guys who are pretty veteran accounts, and they're on some of the bigger sites that are selling picks. And they say, across the board, pick selling business is down. And maybe you can confirm that or not. Mm-hmm. But there still is a big audience of people buying picks. And so, there's a market for it. And I guess it's just such a hard thing to find out, and there's been so many bad stories that come out of it. I just can't think of an industry, really, that has much worse of a reputation than the pick-selling business. Yet, you look at infomercials, used car salesmen, aren't they doing the same kind of thing, selling, embellishing their product success rate and pretty much ignoring its flaws?
Uh-huh. No, that's a good analogy. I mean, we're going to whiten your teeth in just 3 applications. You're going to buy my CD, and I'm going to make you a millionaire with 3 or 4 free properties that don't cost you a penny out of pocket. You call me right now. I'm going to do this. So it is relevant. Sports betting, it's gotten a black eye, and years ago it was different. You didn't have communication to talk to somebody about this or that. So it has changed. But unfortunately, now anybody can become a handicapper. But I do believe that our future is guys like AC, computer guys, math majors in his case. They put a lot of due diligence into it. Where I'm a guy that goes by a lot of gut feeling and tracking players. I have my approach, and I'm not going to change at this point in my life. But I will trust. I will trust in in baseball. It's a whole. Everybody knows my stand on baseball. Danny Baseball is for a reason. I'll go down with baseball. But anything else, I swallow my pride. I trust God. I've been tracking AC since the early part of football season. Kid's been hot. He ain't gonna. Did a couple of days last week. He was. I wanted to smack him around. He couldn't pick a winner, but it is what it is. It's part of it, and that's why I really wanted to. I'm following the Philly Godfather concept. Make it long term. Make it. Hey, you want to bet it? Great. You want to compare it? You want to go the other way? That's your call. And each capper, it will be documented. The sports will be documented. We just started about a week ago, and I'm really excited about it. That's why I'm on radio. Because people need to follow your stories out there. We'll give out your contact, who you're working for, whatever you want to promote, David. But I really want to make this affordable for the smaller guy. The guy that has had a bad experience, the one, instead of calling free weekend. You know how many times, David, AC, and Andy, I get this call? You give me one guaranteed winner, and I'll sign up for a year. I said, oh, really? So you're going to, how much? And then I said, well, how much are you going to bet on it? Well, I can do $2,000. I said, so you're not willing to pay me a membership fee, but you're willing. You don't trust me to pay me $200, but you'll trust me enough to bet $2,000 on a game that I give you. That does not make sense. So for me, I've done the free stuff. You get a lot of people calling, gives you the chance to talk to some people, but reality is it ain't free if it's losing. It costs you money. It's the bottom line.
Absolutely.
That's why I'd rather say invest a lousy $1 a day. Breaks down to, if you do it now, I double it up. 50 cents a day. You got 6 months. 6 months. Don't talk to nobody.
That's insane.
Yeah, if you have questions, you can email guys like AC. He'll break down. He'll spend time with you. The other cappers. So I like what I'm doing, David, and I think you'll be proud of me because you know where I came from in this business. Been on HBO with Jim Lampley back in '97. I got more miles on me than most people, David. Correct? You can't take that away from me, at least.
You definitely have some good stories, Daniel B.
And you know what, though? And again, I've always been forward with situations that have happened in my past and where I come from. My radio show people, they hear me every Saturday morning for 20 years. I tell it the way it is. That's why I like to call the show Keeping It Real. We got guys like David, AC, who's going to stay on the phone. We'll give out some free plays. We've had great guests throughout the year. David, do you need to give out some information how the audience out there in Los Angeles?
Oh, not at all. You know, I write for a ton of people. Whoever pays me the most, I'll write for them. And follow me on Twitter at David Purdom.
Well, how does David?
AC, thanks for having me on. Dave, thanks for having me on. I'm going to head off. Okay.
All right, David. Thanks for your time.
All right, David, take it easy, man.
Take care. David Purdom, very popular on social media. AC, okay, we heard from David. You've been following David for a while now. I know you've been in the forums for a while. AC, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Are you familiar with David Purdom? Excuse me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I see his name around. 7 years in the forum, his name pops up all the time. To me, he seems like he's a real smart guy. He has a lot of insider information with the casinos in Vegas, which a lot of people don't really get. I mean, you don't ever see the amount of money that's coming in. But even last night, he said he made my Baylor bet, which was one of my biggest plays so far this year, and he said that the books raised it up to 16.5 from 14, and they didn't get any money coming in that they were hoping for the other way on Oklahoma. And, I mean, that just confirmed my bet even more. So if you follow someone like him, you're going to get a lot of information and a lot of key statistics you don't really get to see from other people.
Well, you know, and it's true. Sometimes they can't combat it. You know, they're driving the number up. But yet nobody's biting on Oklahoma. What do you do?
Exactly.
You hedge your bet.
So I mean, I even posted that. I said we took Baylor, and a couple people were like, "No, the steam says the other way." But sometimes steam is just to protect the Vegas and the casinos. A lot of people were hitting Baylor because they knew they'd blow them out.
Well, you know what? You can look at it. You can only get so much knowledge. You don't know. How many people really know? A small percentage know if it's a true move or a fake move or a reverse move. So having guys like David's helpful, and you know what, you've made a name for yourself in a short amount of time. You know, and you've always been public. I mean, you've always been kind of private. You haven't monetized what you're doing. Finally, I think it's time that you go out there and you're entitled to make a couple of bucks. We're doing this fairly. You're posting plays on my site. You have your email attached to there. So if anybody, you follow his plays, you follow anybody's plays. And speaking of plays, let's give out, I've been pretty hot. You know that. I've been only giving out 1 or 2 plays here and there. But before you get started, I've been an NFL guy. So I'm going to go with the Giants this week. Lay the 7. I gave it out earlier in the week at 7. I don't know where the spread is right now. But I gave it out at 7 at home playing Oakland Raiders. Anybody in college, I want you to throw out a college play, and then we'll get back to business.
Yeah, so, I mean, first of all, on your play, I really like that play. You asked where it's landed. Right now it's up to 9.5. And it seems like the Sharps are agreeing with you. I mean, it's very tempting for new bettors to take Oakland. And statistically speaking, besides last week when they got their ass kicked by Philly, I mean, numbers show they should stay in it. But, I mean, I'm with you. I think Giants are the perfect team to take out Oakland this week. I mean, they have a great defense against a run, which Oakland specializes in. And also, Oakland's pass D is awful. So, Mr. Manning will take control of this game. But, moving on to college, I really like the Nittany Lions this week. I like them on the road, catching 3 against the Golden Gophers of Minnesota.
Well, that's your home. That's your alma mater, Penn State. When did you graduate as a Lion?
I graduated in '08,
Oh,
actually.
wait.
And I usually, I'll bet against them if I see any value, but this week I really think that this is the week to jump on board and take them. They might even get the straight-up win.
Let me ask you this. We didn't even talk about this, but I'm going to throw it at you. A lot of booking activities on campus. Tell us about what happens. A lot of people are listening. You went to a very popular university, Penn State. Gambling on campus. How much do you see it, or is it a lot of BS? Tell us about it.
No, you definitely see a lot of it. You'll see, I knew at least 5 or 6 books when I went there. I actually got started freshman year, and I took a pounding the freshman year, and then I think everybody who had success in the industry had to get their ass kicked and pay a lot of money in the beginning. And then you don't want that feeling anymore, so you'll do anything you can just to find the information to be on the right side. So, by the end of senior year, I really couldn't bet on campus. I had to go with the offshore sites and, people down to Philly, AC, because, they were just sick of paying me out every week.
But what I'm saying, did you ever get... All right, let's go even deeper. Let's go darker here. Did you ever get any information on campus activities? Maybe the basketball team, the football program? Was there any of that leaking out or hearsay? I've never been to college like that, so I don't know. I'm asking.
Yeah, no, it's been... Everything's legit at Penn State. They keep everything airtight. We had that scandal when I was there that went on, which gave them a bad image. But Penn State is a solid school, and you hear stuff, but most of it's not true. So you just have to rely on the numbers and what you think.
Well, I had a kid. We talk about Baylor. You talked about that. I had a kid last year that heard me on Coco Diaz's program, and I still keep in contact with him. But he was amazing. He was just throwing me picks left and right. He would tell me something, do this, go against this, bet. This kid was like, I want to say like 13-3, betting with against Baylor. And he would make it real. It was really bizarre. He was like, do this tonight, and I'll call you tomorrow. I'll be like, all right. And I never gave it out. I don't know if the kid's serious or not. I was like, all right, whatever. And I'm like, okay. In the beginning, I was like, okay, you whack job. But then then I started like looking at the W's. I'm like, hey, this friggin' nut is doing okay for himself. So, here's the thing. What I do is I listen to everybody. I might not go with what you say because even the stupidest person in the world might say one thing that makes sense. The God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth thing here.
Even I've had my moments.
You've got, Randy,
Danny, to find a place where I know people are laying action. Maybe like a laundromat, a diner, even like a sub shop, and just hear the guys on the Thursday and Friday talk about what they like. I think 85% of the time they're wrong. So I write them down. They think I'm texting someone, but I'm actually writing their plays down just to know what the hell they're saying.
I said my version of you want a free pick, go into a sports bar on a Friday on a Monday night. Excuse me. Ask 20 people who they like. If 15 like the favorite, go with the underdog. Vice versa. Go against when in doubt, go against the public. But the public does have their moments. They're gonna win. That's part of the game. But they win maybe. What's the percentage? 40%, 38%. The average guy.
Well,
if he's lucky, Andy. I'm sorry, AC. What's the numbers on the win-loss ratio? What do you think, AC?
I'd say low 40s. Sometimes you'll see 10%, and these guys are straight mushes. But for the most part, I'm talking low 40s. And you might get a lucky streak. You might hit 10 in a row and think you're on top of the world. But I guarantee next week you're going to bounce back and go 0-40.
Well, I also think that what really separates a professional from an amateur is like the amateur watches the sport because he gets caught up with the team he likes and he's just obsessed with that, so he just bets with that. But you guys actually look at the lines. You know exactly how things are moving. AC, you're super analytical. You've got a system that works for you. Danny's got years of experience, and that works for him. And that combination is why you turn to a professional.
Yeah,
and
compliments.
You don't just ask somebody in the bar.
It's a good compliment. I'm an old school guy, paper and pen, phone. I can call anybody that's worth a darn. People know that about me. Worst thing, I know everybody. But it's a different game. I like talking to the younger guys, and some of the guys are very eccentric. They hit me with they're talking this crazy math stuff, and I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, okay. Bottom line, who do you like? I say so. All right, what does that mean? Take the favorite? Does that take the dog? All well and said. But AC, you've been sharp this year, so I'm telling you, I like the G-Man. I gave him out at 7. Now I don't know where the line's going to wind up. We're doing this on a Friday for the people that are going to listen from the Los Angeles area and Miami and wherever else my radio shows are. I gave it out at 7. I don't know if I can say if it goes up to 10 that might not be a decent opportunity to middle it. I don't know yet. Where are you saying it's sitting at 9.5?
And some
A little slow. Then we had that hot 3 or 4 days. I like it. Where did they come from? I guess just like they spam your emails, they spam your Twitter.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, whatever. But I didn't know where they. What we do here, we have the Dyna Boys, the Greeks, the Dyna Mafia. As you know, they do. They look like a bunch of old. Yeah, they've been on a tear. You impressed with what you're seeing from the Greeks, if you will, AC?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it seems like every week there's a Troy game that goes over, and they sure as hell know that they're going to go over there.
Yeah, they're good with the Troy. I guess the Greeks do know the city of Troy. No pun intended.
Yeah, he him through email daily just to see what he thought. I mean, he knows a lot, and I like how he keeps his plays real limited. His theory is you go bigger on the plays that you think you have a better advantage on.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that the first couple of weeks in college basketball where you can make a lot of money because a lot of these books are a little scared with opening certain totals and lines on these college basketball games because you can't really do that much analysis starting the year with these new kids that come out of high school.
No.
So I think we're going to have some great plays up on the site these next couple of weeks with me and my information, his info.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw some plays. You know, this is to really, like I said, let AC show his ability. I'm not just throwing a made-up name out there. Everybody knows him from the forums. Track him. He's honest. He does his Twitter. Problem. I'm sorry to jump all over the place, but you said bet bigger on certain games. But here's the problem. People want so messed up. When people tell you to bet everything you got on one game, AC, and that's what you'll get out there. On our plays that we're posting for the dollar. Easy way. Because the handicappers are all going to be up there. Everything's going to be itemized. Their record, the team record, who's $1 a day works. 50 cents because I'm doubling it up. And then you have access to AC if it's his play and you want to too. Use this as a tool. Contact the guys. They're going to be there for you. I'm going to throw my move. This is good. I'm having a commercial $1 a day for sour cream. You get a lot more for $1 a day here.
There you go.
There you go.
That's perfect.
50 cents. If you buy now, like I said earlier, I'm going to throw in a Ginsu knife. It's good, though.
Can't beat it.
No,
you really can't beat it. I would have liked this tool 7 years ago.
Well, you know what I'm doing it for primarily? Out in radio, I've done radio for many years. I'm just being honest with you. A lot of guys, and you know who you are. You call this guy. You call for the recorded message. Oh, somebody picked up. They were supposed to pick up, but they picked up.
Uh-huh.
Now they got your number anyway. So instead of doing all that, track us for 6 months for $90. Come on, $90 for 6 months. Track it. I guarantee it. There's plenty of value. Even if you have a bad week or two, stick it out. You're gonna make money. Or if you just want to bet the other way, if you don't agree, because there's going to be prices. I'm not just throwing any just handicapper up there. Right now we have 3 or 4 guys. I'm going to add another 2 or 3 down the road. You'll have contact information with each. approach. 2 plays a day, or you can play every game on the board. What's your preference? I mean, tell us a little bit about AC and what makes you.
I mean, I take any game that I have advantage, and I try to hit above or at 60% daily, or actually, let's stick with weekly, because like I said, you might have a bad streak for. Like, as long as I hit that 60 or above, I'm happy with it. And the thing is, you brought up a good point about these new generation of gamblers. There's 2 things that they kind of live by. One is that they want to get rich quick. A lot of these younger guys, like you said, they'll push all in on one play they're given, but you just can't look at that, because if you lose, then you're cleaned out and you're done.
Your clock
and 2
is clean, yep.
Is the biggest problem is, I think, with gamblers and younger gamblers is when you lose, you might say that if I lose this bet, I'm done. There's no way you're going to be done. You're going to find any way you can to get back the next day.
Absolutely.
So you got to think long term. You got to think that there's a chance I might lose this bet. Even if it's 30, 40%, there's still that chance that you might lose that short thing. So long term approach, I say limit your plays. You don't want to play 20 plays a day, because I know that's just paying too much juice.
Yeah.
But yeah, you stick with us, you'll make a lot of money. And I think the good thing you said is my personal email address is on there. And I mean, I give you a couple plays a day. But, I mean, we're pushing 5 or 6 more in a couple.
No,
of
I know
bigger.
that. I can't listen. You're right, and it's sometimes not fair because I do put you on, and I'm just speaking to everybody honestly. I can't take every play he has and every play this guy, because now you got 30. What do you do? It becomes too overwhelming. Mm-hmm. So I kind of put their back against the wall, and sometimes it's hard because you can catch the couple of games that would have won if I. You know what I'm saying? Totally. It's so I try to like narrow it down, and it is what it is. But if you want like all of their games to track them, you get to track the guys that you want to follow and go with it, and contact them once you build a rapport with them. And the beautiful thing here, you don't have to talk to anybody unless you want to. The plays are there. You can get them text. It's pretty simple for the 50 cents a day, really, the breakdown. It's again. So what else you want to say before we cut the show off? I know you got to get back to your grind. I got a lot of things to do tonight. I'm hitting the casino.
Boom.
I'm so sad. My schedule's so crazy because we're getting ready to go down to Naples.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
When's that?
Yeah, we were supposed to do it next week, but I got Coco. I got to see Coco in Long Island. So
Governors?
I've got Governors. Yeah, I'm gonna check them out. Then I'm trying to get down to Naples. Going to fly into Fort Myers because they run the wreck right out of here.
Yeah.
We're looking at a small place down there.
That's nice,
Yeah.
man. Enjoy the spoils. You work really hard.
I can't. The kids though, I'm not like gonna,
Yeah, well, you deserve a break.
Yeah, I know.
What's that bar down there that everyone goes to? I forget the name of it, but
Naples. I couldn't tell you the hot spots no more, pal. I haven't been down there since really 04, 03, 04.
I got you.
I lived in Fort Myers, right on the Bonita Springs area, right by the borderline. But I always lived Naples. It's just got a nice sound to it, right?
Oh yeah, it sounds
Naples.
beautiful.
No, it's beautiful. Yeah, you can't beat it.
No, I know it's beautiful, but as far as hot spots, I don't know. I do know that back in 2003, I had a little buzz going with my boy at the time, and I'm like, I thought it was the guy who sold me my Mercedes, and I went up to talk to him, and I got close and personal. I get like that when I have a buzz on. I'm a friendly drunk.
Yeah.
So I walk up there, and it was Mayor Giuliano.
Get out of here.
I knew he looked familiar. And
No way.
Yeah, we spent about 5 minutes until I became annoying, and then he was nice, but his guy is kind of like, okay, you had your moment.
That's good.
And then he was still out waiting because his car service, something happened, and I saw him again. And of course, I'm just persistent, and hey, Mayor, and then finally they said, listen, enough. Leave the mayor alone.
That's hilarious.
And I even said, look, it's the mayor. It's the mayor. Good, but yeah, that's the last time I remember actually being in Naples, was bumped into Giuliani down there. He was doing some type of seminar or good orator. Very good orator.
Totally.
So, AC, it's good having you aboard. You still have to come up and see me sometime. I know you're busy.
It'd be cool to have you in studio.
AC, the reason they call him AC is Atlantic City. He lives in the New York City area now, works on Wall Street, and does deal with a handful of high-end personnel, clients, if you will, members. How do you like to describe your members? What's the word you use?
I call them high clientele advantage players up here in New York. I mean, a lot of them are big time Wall Street traders. And they don't have time to look at numbers.
Story was about why people do what they do. You know, I've tried to the casino guys, and they have degrees in this stuff. The whole thing with the casinos, it's all mental. Even when you walk in there, it's perfect climate. You don't see well, at least you never did, no clocks. And if the patterns, they always put the jackpot in the front of the door. And look at the rugs. If you look at the patterns they put in the rugs, it's like it hypnotizes you. They were telling me it's like everything's designed to hit the psyche of the gambler. And again, I got a high school diploma. You know, I didn't go to college like you fellas, but these guys they know what you want. They know what you want.
Oh, totally.
But the gambler, again, I said earlier to David, I don't know what makes them tick. They go to a GA. You know, some say for the thrill. Why does a guy continue to pay and pay and pay and pay another service after he says how horrible they are? Is he a glutton for punishment? I don't know. That's why listen, I'm going to have guys that want to work with me. Personally, the ones that have problems managing their money, they don't want a lot of games, or they don't know what they're doing. See, there's a lot of guys listening on radio that don't bet. They're intrigued by my radio show. Because I get into on radio, I do a little different approach than this. And I talk about using it like an investment, not as an addiction. Yeah. So I have to actually walk, because I spent just last night or the night before, it took me 20, she's a nice lady from Miami. And I don't see what their screen. I'm just talking to them. She's telling me, I don't see it, click here, click there. I'm like, finally, it took 20 minutes to make a $50 bet. But it happened, so they need some help. Yeah. But anyway, AC, again, good run, good first week, good start. Tonight, Friday, starts week 2 of the $1 a day membership. Guys are tuning in Saturday mornings from LA and Miami. We record this show. The radio show obviously airs on Saturdays, but we do this podcast, Keeping It Real, usually twice a week. We're going to have a little downtime this week. Andy's taking off. I got some things to do. I got to get to Naples. I got to get to Long Island. I love the business, though, because I can be mobile.
Absolutely.
That's a good thing.
Take it all over.
Yeah. And again, the $1 a day, you just log on. The players are there. They could be text to you. You get to compare. It's affordable. Nobody's trying to, take advantage of anybody. It's there. Use it. Don't use it. Trash it. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
Use it as info.
But I guarantee if you start, here's the thing, guys. Like, I'll just bet the other way. I guarantee you that'll backfire on you, though. You start betting the other way, it's going to backfire on you, and it's going to bite you in the butt. So my advice is look at it, compare it, but don't think that you know more than guys that do this for 11.
That's right.
AC, anything you want to send us off with this weekend? We got Penn State. You kind of agreement with me where do you cap the Giant bet? I gave it out early. Everybody knows that are members. I dished it off at 7 on a Wednesday.
I actually have it at 10, so it's moving right towards my number. So I mean,
so where do you cap it? When do you, if there's a time, do you start thinking opposite side? At what number? If it goes to 11, where as a numbers guy, where do you stop betting the Giants?
In this situation, since my number is 10 or above, I wouldn't even try for a middle here. I mean, when you see a middle, I like when it goes from 10 to like 14.5 or even like 2.5 to 3.5 over a key number, like 37 or 14.
Okay. So you don't see this thing elapsing. It's Friday. We don't know what's going to happen Sunday. An injury could pop it up or whatever. But again, I thought it would move, but I was thinking it would hit 7.5 or 8. I was just trying to catch that half line. Now we caught 3 points. That's huge.
Yep.
That is huge.
Exactly.
That is huge. And again, a lot of the things I do, it's gut feeling. It's not like I'm sitting here like, oh. Now, 20-something years ago was different. I had the time. I got guys that do that for me now. It's good. I don't have to do the grunt work. Yeah. I'm the general. I got a bunch of little good soldiers out there doing their due diligence. And they're not just, you know what I'm saying? They're real. They're totally real people. Nobody's trying to put the covers over your eyes and say I'm got my game of the year that ain't going to lose. I hate the guarantee word. I hate that guarantee. I'm going to go 5-0. Or I'm going to guarantee you this. I promise you this. Mm-hmm. You stick with these guys and follow their moves for 6 months, you're going to be happy. And if you don't need a lot of action, you work with me, you're going to be happy. I'm going to treat you right. But anyway, guys, Andy, Moses ain't with us. I usually have my parrot in the background, but he's been misbehaving. Getting ready to go out tonight and have a good time at the Sands tonight with you.
Right.
Celebrating my wife's 37th birthday a week early.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
like with
Have
the
a good time.
Yeah.
Play number 23 for me.
23, that's right. AC Sports 23 on Twitter. AC Sports 23 on Twitter. You can check him out. Throws out some nice free plays. Good dude. AC Sports 23. MJ, go get him, buddy. Thanks for
brother.
your time, pal.
Another good
show.
How
The
about
show,
it?
yeah. And again, a lot of guys are tuning in from LA and Miami for the first time because I don't really push my website.
Yeah, totally.
But I did this weekend.
Now the website is Danny Wins for You.
The number 4.
The
Danny
number 4.
Wins for you. Got to register on that site. If not, you won't see the pics.
Yeah, and there's a new button on the left hand
You
side
see a little
of the
blinking
screen.
thing. It's pretty
Yeah,
little
it's pretty cool.
eye-catchy.
Yeah.
And again, this is simple. It's inexpensive. Quality stuff. It'll be documented. You have access to the guys. You have access to me. Use it as a tool. I mean, it just stay within yourself. Don't double up unless maybe the guy, it says 2-time play on it. I'm not big on, I guess most guys bet Andy 200, 300. I would say stick within that. If the guys say bet a little bit more, then instead of going from 200 to 1,000, just do it like 200 to 300 or something like that.
Balance. It's all about
Yeah, a
balance.
little bit more. A little. Like you can have a little bit more food on the plate.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
want a whole big plate. Because that gives you like yesterday. I started eating the candies again with the kids.
Oh man.
Can't help it. Yeah, kids, little guy. Little guy's got a. So he's a mess, isn't he? He's funny, isn't he? You're gonna see him on TV one day. He's got.
I believe it.
He's getting the other one's gonna be a musician, I believe.
Very cool.
He loves it, and the other guy's just I don't know what to make of him. He's
a
fun
nut.
though, isn't he?
Oh, he's a barrel.
Out of nowhere, you just see this thing running by you.
Yeah.
Like, what was that?
You could hear him tapping along
Like
the
the little
ceiling.
Chucky doll.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, have a good weekend, and hope everybody enjoyed the show. Again, the new site, Danny Wins, the number 4 you, DannyWinsForYou.com. Got some great content on there. You get
Absolutely.
to track some good cappers. We're going to add some throughout the year, and it took me a little longer than I. It's good because, again, it gives you time. 1 or 2 plays doesn't make a man, and that's why I like this long-term approach.
Longevity is key, especially in this business.
Sure,
for
I mean, absolutely. People have come and gone. I'm still here after 20 years, and I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to. And everybody, thanks for tuning in, bud.